Okay. Governor, can you put this recession that we're about to head into in its historical context, please? Have we ever faced anything like this before?
I think it's probably unprecedented. And the reason for that, of course, is that there was such a sudden and substantial downturn because effectively the economy was locked down in that sense. So I don't think we've ever seen anything like that before. What we hope and expect, though, is that there will be a very fast recovery when it happens. And that will be supported by obviously public health policy. We've made some assumptions in the scenario we've produced, but it is only a scenario. I'm very clear on this. It's not a forecast, it's just a scenario. The recovery, of course, is going to have to be primarily shaped by the decisions that are taken on public health and public health policy grounds. We will respond to that. We'll do everything that we can to support the people of this country, and that's what we are doing. But the primary, in a sense, driver of those decisions will be public health.
You've published this plausible economic scenario. How likely is it to happen?
Well, that depends on the evolution of COVID and the evolution of the public health response. And we can't, normally we publish what we call a fan chart where we put probabilities around things and we pore over probabilities. We just haven't been able to do that, which is why we've got a scenario. We think it's plausible.
Is it the most likely scenario?
That depends on the public health measures. We can't say that in the normal way that we would say it as the Bank of England.
Some of the assumptions you make are actually quite optimistic. Should we see this as a best case scenario?
We haven't constructed it as a best case scenario. We've constructed it as a scenario which is based around certain assumptions. And a key assumption is that the lockdown measures are gradually lifted, really starting, we've assumed, from the beginning of June, but that's just an assumption. We're not telling the government what to do. It's just an assumption.
But you also assume no second wave. I mean, these are optimistic assumptions, aren't they?
Yeah, because we've assumed a gradual lifting. Obviously, all sorts of things could happen in the health space. We're not experts in that space. I can't give you predictions on that front.
So is this a best case scenario?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a cautious scenario which has a gradual lifting. And by the way, just one other thing. We've actually extended the recovery because we've assumed that people are still going to be cautious. Even when the government lifts the measures, they will still behave in a cautious fashion. So activity in the economy doesn't fully come back in terms of what people do until really about the middle of next year or so.